No. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, hello. My name is Sarah Palmyra and I love chatting about anything skincare, makeup, and clean beauty related. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different because I was going to do a couple of Glossier videos this week. I've been meaning to show you guys some of my favorite Glossier products. I was even going to post about their new balancing primer. I don't feel comfortable supporting the brand anymore. So if you don't know what's going on and you're new to this, Glossier was recently called out. There was an Instagram account called Out of the Gloss, and it was a collective of former retail employees who'd had a really bad experiences working there and didn't feel like they were being heard. They sent Glossier a list of demands. Glossier has responded, and we are waiting to see what will happen. I definitely do think that we can give brands a chance to redeem themselves, but I do agree with many creators who have said oftentimes it's very performative. I'm curious to see how the brand makes actual changes. So if you're hearing this news for the first time and you want to educate yourself about what is going on so that you can make the best decision, I definitely recommend checking Out of the Gloss on Instagram. So that's kind of what led to me picking up this product today, which is the NYX Professional Makeup Bare With Me Skin Veil. So this is a product that has been I've seen it around on TikTok, and what really got me interested was Sarah Novio, who, if you don't know her, she's so cool, queen of eye looks, honestly. She has a TikTok and she was talking about this as a potential dupe for the Glossier, and I was incredibly intrigued. So I will link her info as well. She's also on YouTube, but I was intrigued because Sarah's skin type is more normal to oily and my skin type is more normal to dry. So I thought that I would test this out and see how close it is for a dupe for the Glossier skin tint, and also if it would work for me and my drier skin so that I could recommend it for some of you. So let's break these products down a little bit further. So the Bare With Me Tinted Skin Veil retails for $13 and you get 0.91 fluid ounces. It's described as a very lightweight, fresh looking skin tint. It's supposed to provide light to medium coverage, 8-hour wear time, and it's going to give your skin a luminous finish and has a satiny finish as well, but it's not described as anything that's overly dewy. It's also buildable, and the Glossier is $26 and you get 1 fluid ounce, so slightly more product, but it's $13 more than the NYX one. And it's very dewy, very sheer. It is not a buildable product. It's very liquidy on the skin, and it's supposed to just be basically your skin, but slightly better. And that is kind of how it's marketed as. It's a very lightweight skin tint. It doesn't make any claims about longevity whatsoever. I looked at the ingredient list and I found them to be incredibly similar. I'm gonna pop them up here so that we can kind of compare, but they both have alcohol, dimethicone, PEGs. It's very similar, titanium oxides. And I also wanted to say that the NYX markets itself as non-comedogenic and the Glossier markets itself as safe for sensitive skin. I want to be the first to tell you that these claims don't mean anything. Any brand can say hypoallergenic, non-comedogenic, safe for sensitive skin, doesn't clog pores. These are all claims that a brand can make, and they are not fact-checked by any third party. There's no standard for this. You don't have to meet a standard. It's just a marketing claim that you can just slap on a product, so don't get fooled by that. I'm not saying that they are bad for sensitive skin or they're comedogenic, but I'm just saying there's no way for us to know, so we're not going to judge the products based on those claims. So without further ado, I am going to apply it on the skin for you, and I'm going to give you a little demo, and then at the end of the video I'll give you my final thoughts and I'll let you know how close this was to the Glossier and whether I would repurchase it and who I'd recommend it for. Hello, you're all zoomed into the face, you know the drill. So really quickly, I wanted to say what shade I'm in. In the Glossier, I'm in G8, which is the 5th shade of the 12 shades that they carry. It's G12, 11, 10, 9, 8. And then in the NYX Bare With Me, I am in the shade True Beige Buff, which is the 4th shade in a row of 12. This makes me believe that perhaps the NYX ones go deeper, but I can't say. I did not swatch all of them, so I'm not gonna gonna prime. I am gonna do my regular routine of sunscreen though, because neither of these products contain it. I've been playing with this vitamin C and E serum from Volto Urbano. It's a Los Angeles-based company, and I really like it. It's like a really thin skin milk texture. Before I go in with my sunscreen, vitamin C can really actually help boost the efficacy of a sunscreen. And I have to be really careful with vitamin C serums because sometimes they give me dermatitis. Basically with any active, I risk getting dermatitis just because that's how sensitive my skin is, but so far so good. And then I'm gonna go in with the Glow Skin Beauty. This is an oil-free SPF 40. I love this one. My esthetician recommended it to me a while ago. It is so lightweight. It really doesn't feel like you have anything on at all. I just love it. It doesn't smell overly intensely. It spreads beautifully. I've never gotten sunburnt. I've gone to the beach the last couple of days and I've applied it. And one time I forgot my body sunscreen and so I had to apply this all over. I was so upset. I'm gonna go in with the Bare Me on this side. I'm not really sure how much to use, to be honest with you. I feel like this is a good amount. I'm not sure. This is probably what I put on for the Glossier, although right off the bat I can tell you that the Glossier would be dripping down my face at this point, and this is staying put, as you can see. So it doesn't have that liquid texture. I'm just gonna start blending it in with my fingers and seeing what it does. Okay, so right off the bat, it really spreads easily. It kind of almost feels moussey in texture, like a whipped mousse. Does that make sense? Very velvety. It kind of reminds me of the Makeup Forever, but the mattifying one. It's like this mattifying skin tint. I'll pop the image here. It reminds me of that in feel. We can see that it has covered a little bit, especially my eye area. I kind of want to see how buildable it is. So I'm going to apply a little bit more because that's one of the gripes I have with the Glossier is it's not super buildable. So let's just see here. It's a good shade match for me, actually. It's a very neutral olive based shade, which is great. I feel like with some brands, they don't know how to do olive. It's either really yellow or really pink. And you're like, but what if I'm neither? Okay, so I don't really like how it's applying with the Beauty Blender at all. It actually is literally lifting what I've added off of my face and onto the Beauty Blender. Like it's taken the dots that I've applied and it's just gone right on top and it's lifted them off. It's not blending them out at all. That's so weird. That barely ever happens with the Beauty Blender. So, okay, back to square one. That is not gonna work. Let me try a brush just to see. I'm gonna go in with this Charlotte Tilbury complexion brush. This is one of my favorites because it's so soft. It just really gives me a lot of control. I know it's a tint, but I'm just playing with how I would apply it. No, it's literally just absorbing into whatever item I use. So this is truly something that is best with the fingers at this point. Yeah. Oh wow, yes. And I actually think I may have lifted some right here in the cheek area. So back again we go. Okay, now we're just gonna use the fingers from here on out because both of those did not work at all. Okay, so I'm really liking how it's brightening my under eye. There's no creasing. You know, sometimes when I apply a tint to that area, it does cause some creasing. I would say that the coverage is a solid light coverage. It's light bordering on medium. Is it going to become a full medium? Maybe, but at that point you're just using so much product. What is the point, you know? So let's just leave this for what it's meant to be, which is a lightweight skin tint. So far so good. It really hasn't picked up on any texture. It doesn't make my skin look dry. Would I say it's luminous? No, on me, not at all. It's more of a satin, look. It's a satin velvety skin finish. Maybe in the summer, we are in summer now and my skin is more normal. Sometimes it even gets a little oily. Maybe this would just stay put and it would just get a nice glow to it as I wore it throughout the day. We'll have to see. So on this side, I'm just gonna pop on my Glossier skin tint and I wanna show you the difference here. Off the bat, you can see that it's more liquidy. It would start to drip if I just kind of left it there. Also, it is darker as a shade. Probably my true shade would be a G9, but I picked this up last summer when I was tan. And so this is more of my summer shade. But because it's so sheer, you can already tell that as I'm blending it in, it just kind of, it works out. Now, this is so much easier to move around the face. It doesn't take me a long time to blend it out, which I really like in a product. I'm gonna add a second layer, see how it builds. I'm just gonna add it to my finger. I'm too scared to mess with dripping it. That's happened to me with this, is where I apply it and it just drips down to my clothing. Devastating. Okay, so as you can see, this actually did really brighten the eye area. I do have pigmentation around my eye. I have a little bit of that going on here, and this did not cover it, whereas this side did. So out the gate, you can tell this has more coverage, but it is a different finish. So who knows? This might be really appropriate for someone who wanted to love the skin tint, but you just couldn't make it work. It was too dewy and too sheer. This is like a halfway in between. It's like the skin tint, but if it were a little bit more velvety and had a touch more coverage. So far I really do like it. I am gonna go in with the rest of my makeup and then I'm gonna check in with you and show you how everything is wearing. Hi guys, I'm back. I've done a full face of makeup and everything applied really nicely, but I did notice one thing that I wanted to point out to you, which was that the products that I put on the Glossier side did not actually show up as well as they did on the NYX side, which I found to be really interesting. Obviously, this is a very natural, fresh look, so I'm not looking for intense pigment out the gate, but I don't know if you can notice that on this side, the cream blush and bronzer that I used are far more sheer than on the NYX side, where they really appear a lot more. So I didn't apply them any differently, so that makes me wonder whether the emollient nature of the Glossier skin tint kind of lends itself to making the whole look very no makeup makeup. So I actually really like that this showed up a lot better. And yeah, it's just so strange because I applied it the same exact way, and these are creams, but it seems like they've blended into almost nothing. I haven't gone throughout my whole day yet, but I have a feeling this is gonna wear better than this side. I'm gonna now go about my day and I will tune in a few hours to let you know how the products are wearing. Hi guys, I'm back. It's been approximately 5.5 hours and I'm here to do a little check-in with you. So I feel like both products are wearing quite well, but the Glossier, like I said, all the cheek products that I placed on it have kind of evaporated, as well as a little bit the cream shadow that I placed on it because I did not really prime it. I just kind of loosely applied it over my eyelid after I had put the Glossier over that, and so I feel like it is disintegrating on the side, just a smidgen in the outer corner, but overall I think the skin looks really nice. Full disclaimer, I used a concealer slash powder combination under the eyes and it's not looking good. It's just one of those makeup tests that didn't go that well. So if you see dryness in those areas, it's not the fault of either of these products. All right, you guys, so that is the end of my demo. Let me tell you some final thoughts I had on this product. Overall, I would rate it an 8 out of 10, and I'm giving it a rating of 8 because it's not the same as the Glossier. So if you're buying it because you want it to literally seem exactly like the Glossier, the only difference is the packaging you wouldn't have known, you're going to be disappointed because this is not exactly the same as the Glossier. The main things are the finish. It's not dewy, it's more luminous and satiny, although I think in the summer that will be great for a lot of people. It's also not as liquidy, it applies more moussey, and you do have to spend a little more time working it into the skin. I love that it's a lower price of $13. I think that's a great deal, and I love that it's long wearing. So far, it's really seemed to last on the skin. I do think oilier skin would get along with this one quite well, especially in the summer, because I think over a period of hours, it could end up looking really nice and dewy. But I definitely think it's a steal. It's $13 from the drugstore. That is a great deal, and I definitely recommend it. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas of products that you can use to replace some of your Glossier faves. If you have a favorite Glossier dupe that you want to drop below, I'm all ears. I love learning from each other in the comments. But I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until I see you again, I'm wishing you health and wealth as always. Bye guys!